Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We are here in a sky bridge, which I'm going to do a little pan round for you to see. This is the sky bridge that connects Selfridges to Manchester's Arndale, and it's very handy on a freezing cold, wet and windy, rainy day like today. Today's talk is Indigene 3. I had the title that was in my head a second ago. Oh yes, A New Humanism. Indigene 3, A New Humanism. And it's a bit more cheerful than the last video I did, which was titled The Power of Hate. And I think you kind of have to go there to get here. And I wouldn't necessarily call it a nervous breakdown that I had yesterday. More of a kind of ideas and faith and happiness breakdown until you kind of really just reduce yourself down to your most basic kind of primate parts and you sit there thinking, what's the point? But I've been, you always rescue yourself out of these holes, and the people that love you around you also help you out. So, you know, big shout out for depression and compassion and helping each other. I was watching a talk by Sir Roger Penrose last night, the scientist, talking about consciousness, and it got me thinking about people and how in our societies, in our civilizations, and civilization does seem to be something very natural that happens with us conscious apes, that every action will have its inaction, every left-winger will have its right-winger and vice versa, every man will have a woman, except in China there's 50 million missing women, every on will have its off, every magnetic positive will have a magnetic negative. And so like we evolve through conflict, we evolve through dialogue, we evolve through the dialectic, the Hegelian dialectic between good and evil and the back and forth. And here's the big thing, guys. What if in our lack of understanding of scientific processes in the brain, I say we, I mean lots of very prominent people, Sheldrake, Lennox, all the kind of people that Dawkins and Hitchens debate with, that say that there is a non-local consciousness to the universe and we might as well call it God or Spirit. I've been reading about Stuart Hamerhoff's microtubules theory that he's working on with Roger Penrose, and when you think of the deep and vast processing ability, wow, this bridge is getting busy, check this out. Yeah, busy bridge. But when you think of the vast processing abilities of even just the supercomputer, or you know, the kind of Bitcoin world, which is to kind of crack bigger and bigger prime numbers, and so Bitcoin mining really uses vast processing. Some madman just said something very strange to me. He did the wanker sign and I'll kill you. That's very bizarre, but he looked a bit nuts. But what if the microtubules in the brain and the quantum processes inside them creates processing power, unimaginable quantum processing power following the rules of quantum mechanics, to the scale of, say, 100 trillion times the power of your laptop, or say 500 gazillion trillion times the power of your Xbox. It's not beyond the realm of possibility, and this is why a lot of materialists and reductionists say that we need to just get rid of the quackery of spirit once and for all. It's not beyond the realms of possibility that, given billions of years, given evolution, given the natural processes involved in trying to stay alive in the dangerous world, that nature, which is us, we are nature, can come up with a processing machine able to self-referentially look into its past, create abstract possibilities, self-reflect to the point where it's happening so powerfully, so quickly that we become self-aware. Maybe there is a certain rev counter past which, don't worry, the camera's pointing this way, you don't have to duck. It's funny, I'm pointing the camera at my face, but people are ducking in front of me. They're so terrified of this camera stealing their souls. But yeah, like, I think it's an easy cop-out for us to say it's God, it's spirit. And I'm going to be the first one to hold my hands up. I can't hold the other hand up because the camera would fall. And say, you know, in full humility that in my questioning of things, in my search for reality and truth, I come up with a bunch of theories which are often incorrect or... Do you want to say something to the camera? Come on, no, you come out well. Oh well, everyone loves the camera. They know what the hell's going on. Where was I? Yeah, like it's a bit of a cop-out to say God or spirit or consciousness is everywhere at times. Well, we can't prove these things, we can't test these things, but what we can test are the actual physical processes in the brain and what they actually mean. And I, for one, as a human being, I fully support our primate growth out of the primordial soup into advanced hairless apes who are soon going to send private spaceships into space with Virgin Galactic. There's plans now to have men on Mars by 2050, and we should start colonizing the moon. And I, for one, would love to think that my grandchildren can explore through the universe like Captain James T. Kirk. I think that's amazing. And this is a universe of information. It's a universe of learning. It's a universe of freedom. This is the best thing. Oh yeah, a quick tangent. You ever wonder why NATO and the West actually dominate the planet financially, militarily, politically, and economically? I know I criticize the West for a lot of murderous things we do, they do, we do, they do. But in terms of standing by something good, the American Constitution, the Declaration of Independence, the British Magna Carta, and all the derivatives in the Western world of people who actually believe in justice, compassion, and truth, and jurisprudence. Look that word up, jurisprudence. People who believe in these things seem to have done better against Soviet mafias, against politburos, against corruption, against North Koreans, against Chinese, and against Iranians. The old ways of dominance and hatred and control are giving way to a hierarchical knowledge that when you elevate those at the bottom to a better standard, when all of your society has the opportunity to achieve great things in politics, science, fashion, film, whatever, you know, when everyone has the opportunity free from arbitrary arrest and disappearance, you can achieve great things. And we're not perfect. Human beings in the West are viciously nasty. I mean, drone attacks that I talked about in the last video, that's just wrong. Or is it? It's wrong, in my opinion. But when you compare the levels of justice in the West compared to the levels of justice in, say, China, Iran, or Russia, it doesn't take a genius to realize that, to make the connection, to make the correlation, the causation, that treating your subjects or citizens with a bit more respect and giving them the stability to operate underneath justice creates much better opportunities for everyone. And in terms of, like, read the Ian M. Banks novels, the culture novels, and I see great parallels between the Scottish writer Ian Banks writing about the culture, it's called The Culture, it's the human culture in the universe, and are moving towards a one world council where it will be a NATO and West-led unification of all the world's governments before we can unify money and energy into exploring the universe. This video was called A New Humanism because, to the best of our evidence, it's us. It's no supernatural force, it's no spirit, it's no God, it's no Jesus, it's no Muhammad. It's actually us human beings in our day-to-day quantum processes and thinking about things rationally that improves this world and makes it a free and wonderful adventure for everyone. And on that positive note, with private security now starting to get worried and speak on their radios because they're all hyper-paranoid, I leave you to it. This is Indigene 3 signing out from Charlie Beach. With love, with passion, with fury, with anger, with hate, with all the good stuff, with humanity, new humanism. See ya.